Get cash for clothes at Plato's Closet in North Charleston and West Ashley. It's so easy. Recycle, earn cash, repeat. We pay cash on the spot for your trendy, gently used clothing, shoes, and accessories. At Plato's Closet, we buy all seasons, all day, every day. It's time to clean out your closet and cash in. Bring in your denim, graphic tees, athletic wear, shoes, handbags, and more. Sell your styles to Plato's Closet for cash. Then, do it again. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.
Hey, it's Kim Commando Today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to commando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. Okay, I always like to start with something fun and interesting. And have you ever seen a flying saucer? Do you believe in those little green men? Well, if you live in this city in the United States, you might. Now, according to the National UFO Reporting Center, yes, there is such an institution, Spokane, Washington is the city in the United States with the most UFO sightings. Now, per 100,000 residents, 52 say that they spotted a UFO hovering above. Okay, second place goes to Tucson, Arizona. Third, Albuquerque, New Mexico. And the worst place to see a UFO, where would that be? Anybody? New York City, because it has too much light pollution. Now, I have never seen a UFO, I'll tell you that, because I'm always able to correctly identify those flying objects. That's why. And on that happy note, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kim Commando. I'm America's beloved digital goddess here, hosting the biggest, the baddest, the best, most trusted show about all things digital. And get ready to supercharge your tech wisdom, because tech is woven into the fabric of everything that we have. And prepare to dive into my award-winning show. It plays on over 420 of the finest radio stations across the United States. And for all you streamers out there, simply pop Commando, my last name, into the search bar of your go-to radio app, and presto, I'll be right there for you. But if you're looking for a commercial-free podcast or webcast, just take a quick jaunt over to commando.com and then look for that bright, happy, cheery yellow button in the upper right of the homepage called the Commando Community, and sign up there and you get 30 days free. And after that, it's just a few bucks a month. And a special shout out goes to all of our listeners on the American Forces Network Radio, serving more than 375,000 American servicemen and women in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marine Corps, the Coast Guard, and Space Force in 175 different countries. And our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254 is a way to join us. And just want to remind you, if you're too shy to come on a big-time radio show, a podcast, you can still send me your questions. I read every single one. Just head over to the official homepage of the Kim Commando Show. And in that upper right-hand corner, there's a link that says Email Kim, and that's where the magic happens. Alrighty, every single day I go, all over the web, 30 different websites at least, just to make sure that we're both up to date on what's going on in the tech world. And here are 5 things you need to know right now. And we're going to start with a question. How much do you think humans disturb animals when we're out camping, hiking, or riding down a bike trail, or just making s'mores around the campfire? Do we really disturb the animals, and just how much? Well, in Wyoming's Bridger Teton National Forest, just gorgeous, by the way, researchers decided to find out. So they placed boom boxes and all types of cameras on game trails in the middle of the woods. And no, not to see if the bears are throwing raves or listening to yacht rock. They wanted to see how noise impacts the wildlife. So what they found is that whenever an animal triggered a motion-sensitive camera at one end of the trail, a boom box about 20 yards away would start playing human sounds. So they played recordings of hikers chatting or quietly walking, or large groups, small groups, mountain bikers. The results? Even the slightest human noise, almost a whisper, startled the animals. Large groups of mountain bikers were most likely to send animals like mule deer and elk just running. Small groups of hikers and bikers had a similar effect, but not as intense. As for folks who were quietly walking, this is the fascinating part. The animals, they paused and they listened, but they didn't take off. So if you want to see wildlife, just walk very quietly, because they're more likely just to hang out. Number 2 on our list, Apple Card is going to give you 10% back for just a limited time. Just want to tell you about this. Because especially if you're buying apps or you're buying that next level of Candy Crush so you don't have to sit there and try to get and do it yourself. Last year, people spent $167 billion on apps. Wow. Isn't that just crazy? Now, if you're an iPhone owner, for the next 6 months, you could be getting 10% off on all those digital splurges when you whip out your new Apple credit card. Yes, it is a credit card, but before you grab your piggy bank and you start shaking it, the maximum payout is $100. But, might be worth it if you're buying a lot of stuff in the App Store. Moving on to number 3, hasta la vista, baby. This is great for all you listeners that have a motorcycle. You may remember Terminator 2. Think back. Arnold Schwarzenegger cruising with those awesome sunglasses on over roads, laser precision, taking down those villains. Well, we can't actually become that yet, but BMW has released the BMW Connected Ride smart glasses. These are actually really cool. They have a heads-up display built right into the lens, and you put these suckers on, and you have your speed, which gear you're in, the outside temperature, the speed limit, everything's right in front of your eyes. And then in addition to that, you get turn-by-turn navigation, all while riding your motorcycle. And they pair up with your smartphone, the BMW app, which, by the way, it works on other motorcycles aside from just BMW. But then you have everything just right there in your display for safer rides. It's not going to help you track down Skynet, but a lot of fun on that next ride. Moving on to number 4, keep the rom-coms coming. Life is filled with changes, right? You dump your ex, you get married again, your family grows. And last year, Netflix introduced something called the Profile Transfer Tool during its whole crackdown on password sharing. So if you were using, let's say, your ex's Netflix account, you didn't live with them anymore, you could take your profile and everything that you watched and transfer it over to a new account. But here's the thing. If you hooked up with someone new, got a place with some roommates, and you're still using that ex's account, you were kind of stuck. Well, bottom line now is that Netflix has a new way that lets you switch your Netflix profile over to an existing account. So if you're stuck in that Netflix land, just keep in mind you can pop over to the profile transfer tool. You punch in your Netflix email and password, and then that's it. You're just binging again. And finally, this number 5. Wow. This is the headline. 18-year-old unboxes a $200,000 knife in a video game. Counter-Strike Global Offensive. It's a really popular first shooter game, and it's basically the chess of the esports world. It's fiercely competitive. It has this huge player base all around the globe. Now, in the game, you get these things called cases. They're like virtual treasure chests, and they hold all kinds of digital items you can use to trick out your weapons. You can earn them, you can buy them, you can trade for them, the whole shebango. They can run you hundreds of dollars. But you have no clue what's inside this virtual treasure chest, so it's kind of risky. But there are times when someone strikes gold, and that's that 18-year-old kid I was telling you about. So he cracks open a case, and inside is a knife with a blue gem skin sporting a 387 pattern. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but apparently it's really big inside the game. It's extremely rare. And depending upon the knife's condition, it's worth $200,000. So the kid told PC Magazine he's already been offered $150,000 for the knife, but he's quoted as saying, $200K, like, that'll really help out my parents. For a virtual knife, $200,000. Whoa. That's just, I don't know. I don't understand.
Get cash for clothes at Plato's Closet in North Charleston and West Ashley. It's so easy. Recycle, earn cash, repeat. We pay cash on the spot for your trendy, gently used clothing, shoes, and accessories. At Plato's Closet, we buy all seasons, all day, every day. It's time to clean out your closet and cash in. Bring in your denim, graphic tees, athletic wear, shoes, handbags, and more. Sell your styles to Plato's Closet for cash. Then, do it again. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.
Hey, if you're not already signed up for our great newsletters, I want you to join 400,000 folks and sign up right now while you're thinking about it. Head over to getkim.com. Once again, that's getkim.com. You may not be aware of this, but there's actually a big market for thieves. Golf gear, yes, it's just super expensive. And it turns out that they're super easy to steal. So for the Briarwood Golf Course in Sun City, Arizona, it has become a problem. Now, the course's general manager, Phil Stika, says that last Sunday, 12 club sets were stolen. I mean, talk about a bummer. And people, let me tell you, golfers love their clubs. I mean, they adore their clubs. I mean, they select the right putter. How do I know this? Because I'm a golfer. Okay. I'm not a very good golfer. I will tell you that, well, I cheat every once in a while. I mean, but I'm honest about it. I mean, if somebody says, was that a par 5? And I'm like, yes, I got a 4, of course. And I will tell you a funny story. Is that I was actually at the Arizona golf course and I was playing with some family members. And afterwards, the manager came over and said, oh my gosh, Kim Commando, you are such a great golfer. Would you like to play in the celebrity tournament? And I'm like, no, I can't. But so as a golfer, you actually watch all your golf clubs. I did confess that I did cheat just a little bit. So when you want to keep track of your gear, what are you using? You're using AirTags. Well, Phil is super smart because he's like, hey, you know what? He found out that a few of the golfers had their clubs stolen, actually had Apple AirTags in their bags. So he decided to take matters into his own hands. He managed to get the clubs back and then get a few criminals arrested. So Phil's joining us right now, and I'm so excited that you're here. Phil, first of all, how big is the problem with golf clubs getting stolen?
Well, hi, Kim. First of all, it's nice to be on your show. And I wanted to say that there is an epidemic across the Valley of Phoenix and around the country. It's a quick, easy grab and go. They're $2,500 to as much as $5,000 in a bag, and they can grab it, throw it in the trunk, and take off.
So tell us a story about what happened at your course.
Well, at our course, we had somebody actually break into where we store our golf clubs, our members' golf clubs, in a storage area. They came in through a back wall. They cut through a barred entry area and came in and just started unloading different sets of clubs out through the back door and escaped with them.
How much do you think all that gear was worth that they stole?
Oh, we're looking at least $25,000 worth of equipment in about 10 minutes.
Wow, that's crazy. That's amazing. So how are you able to track the criminals down?
Well, I get a call in the morning and they said, hey, we had a break-in in our bag storage. So I drove down to the club and one of our members was there. He happened to say, I happen to have this AirTag, and being in Sun City West, we have some elderly people, and this was new to him. He recognized how it would work, but didn't know exactly what to do with it once he needed it. I said, take a screenshot, send me that picture. I'm going to go to the address. So
you did?
I took off driving. Yeah, I just, I felt sorry for this guy because I could tell, golfers get fitted for every club they have in the bag.
Yeah.
So it is a personal thing. So I just took off across the city here. I went from Sun City West all the way to South Phoenix. And started looking for what could have been an area where these clubs were being stored. I just happened to see a car in the street that was parked behind the house that the address was coming up where the clubs were located. And in the car, I could see through the window, it looked like something was stacked in the back of a Jeep Cherokee. And I got up and went and looked in it, and there I see my member's name on the bag tag.
What'd you do next?
Well, being smart, I went and called the police. I said, told them I've been working with the MCSO sheriffs in Sun City West. I am in South Phoenix right now. I've located the bags, and if we could get some officers out here, because the people had now, right in the middle of the call, they actually came out and they started to leave. And so then the police had to try to beat them out of the neighborhood. They didn't quite get there, and we had to keep tracking them on the AirTags.
Boy, I wish you would have called the police first. I would be scared for you that something would have happened.
Well, I would have called the police first if I would have known where the clubs were located.
I see.
Not knowing where they were, I had to locate the clubs. Once I located the bags, I right away called the police, said this is where they're located, gave the address, license number, and that type of thing. But
boy, that's amazing. I mean, it's incredible, really. Did the police give any inclination that this was something that they've been doing on a regular basis?
They've said that they have been doing a lot with AirTags for a lot of different things, stolen cars, stolen golf carts, stolen bicycles. They've also had people who have illnesses such as dementia or Alzheimer's. People will keep track of their parents in case they were able to get out of the house or disappear. So they're very common within the police to know what's going on. Unfortunately, with the MCSO, we know where they are. If they're inside a house, they're going to have to get search warrants and those types of things before they could ever really make entry.
So what did the members say when you got their clubs back?
Oh my gosh, they were just so happy. We had one gentleman that was really happy because this was the second set of clubs. He had lost a set of clubs someplace else, and he had a brand new set. So obviously, this was one that they went to pretty quickly and grabbed. And he had tears in his eyes that he actually got his clubs back. He was looking forward to play. Well,
such a great story, really, and a simple Apple AirTag was able to identify where all these clubs were located. Thanks for joining us and telling us the story.
I was happy to join you. Thank you.
Anytime. So these are Apple AirTags, these little quarter-sized devices that you can put on anything or on a person. And using the Find My app on your iPhone or iPad, that you're able to identify the actual physical location. Now, I did get a note from somebody recently who said, "Oh, Kim Commando, you need to tell people it only works if you're within 250 feet of whatever got lost." That's not the case. It doesn't work like that. It works on cellular triangulation and also works on different eye devices in order to pinpoint that precise location. Anyway, you can find them up on Amazon or on Costco or Sam's Club. They sell for $100. And by the way, if you're on Android or another type of device, instead of Apple AirTags, you're going to be wanting to look at tile trackers. All right, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about big files, how you can send them without the hassle. This is just a great tip because we all create these stunning videos and presentations and graphics, but it comes with a catch. You have large files that maybe can't be easily shared. So what do you want to do when you have this big file and you got to get it from point A to point B? Well, one way is to use a file transfer site like WeTransfer. You go to their website, you upload the file, the video, whatever, and then you enter your buddy's email address. And then WeTransfer will send your friend an email with the link to download the video. Now, of course, another way is to use a compression tool like WinZip or 7-Zip. But if you want to get those large files out of your email for good, which is my preference, you want to use Dropbox or Google Drive. This is a great option, especially if you want to share that big file with multiple people. You just upload the file to Dropbox or Google Drive. You share that link with anyone you want. Bingo, bango, it's done.
Let me tell you about a revolutionary new mobile voicemail app. If you've got a business, your voicemail is probably filled with messages from customers. Often the messages don't contain all the details you need. But what if you were able to get visual information from your callers? That's something you can't do with a traditional audio voicemail box, but you can with Fillmore Productions Video Voicemail. With Fillmore Productions Video Voicemail, callers receive a link to download the mobile app. There they can view important details about your business, watch videos about what you have to offer, and then leave you a video message. Actors and musicians can showcase what they do, and callers to medical practices or repair shops can report their issues visually. There are so many things that video voicemail can do for a business that makes audio voicemail a thing of the past. Discover what video voicemail can do for your business. Visit getvideovoicemail.com. That's getvideovoicemail.com. That's getvideovoicemail.com.
All right, now we're going to dive into the enthralling universe of a very busy Reddit community called Am I the A-Hole? It's a energetic cyber nook where people bear their deepest dilemmas and secrets, and they unfold life's captivating instances, all while seeking an answer to a timeless question: who really is to blame? So then the whole Reddit community, it steps in, they cast their votes until the ultimate conclusion is arrived. Is the person to blame or not? So once a week, I deliver a fresh post for your consideration, and then the judgment falls upon your shoulders. Are they or are they not an a-hole. But wait, there's more, because we have a special guest contestant and ready to embrace the challenge, because this person wants the ultimate reward. Yes, it's a much coveted Kim Komando Show fanny pack. Yes, it's beyond any valuation. And joining us right now is John in San Francisco, California. Hi there, John.
Hi, how are you, Kim?
Good. What do you do there?
I'm a photographer here.
Excellent. I bet you can take a lot of crazy photos in San Fran these days, huh?
I try to stay out of there for my safety and everything else.
That's awesome. All right. So I'm going to read you a situation, and then it's up to you to say, is the person an a-hole or not? Okay, you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
So this woman writes, I'm at the airport. The lady 2 seats behind me on the flight was speaking extremely loud in the entire flight. I had my earbuds in, and it was just piercing my ears. After the flight landed, the woman across from the aisle looked at me terrified, and she said, oh my gosh, I think they're on our next flight. So we got off the flight, we walked back by the gate, and I said to the couple, hey, you guys are flying to Florida next, right? Well, you might want to consider being a little more quiet on your next flight, because I had my earbuds in and I could hear you screaming the entire time. So I turn around, and then this woman's boyfriend says, yeah, okay, you're just a jerk face. So I turned back and I said, what did you just say? And he said, I said, you're just a jerk face. And then the girl chimes in. She says, I don't know what you're talking about. We were not even speaking loudly. So I showed them my earbuds in my hand and I said, listen, I had earbuds in my ears 2 seats ahead of you, and I know all about Frank's wedding, your nail appointment that you didn't get, how hard it is to feed the dogs, how high your cell phone bill is, and I even know all the TV shows that your mom is watching. So I'm asking you, am I the a-hole for talking to this couple and asking them to keep it quiet on the next flight? What do you think, John?
My answer would be no, you're not.
I agree. We've all been there, right? You're like, oh, gosh. It's like, can you just keep it down? Or how about the person sitting next to you having a phone call the whole flight? Stop that, please. All right. So John says she's not. Let's see what the Reddit community says. That's right. You won the fanny pack. Yes. Woohoo. My solution, noise-canceling headphones. Noise-canceling headphones. Nothing like them when you're on a flight. All right. So, John, you have a question for me. How can I lend a hand?
I do. I am interested in a voice assistant like the Google Assistant or Siri, but I don't want to use those because I know firsthand after being a contractor at Google what they do with all that data. So I've been looking for a voice assistant that doesn't share data or sell data, but is a effective assistant. Like if I'm driving and I can say, text so-and-so and let them know I'll be late, or if I'm cooking, my hands are dirty, I don't want to touch my phone. So I'm not looking for something like ChatGPT, but something that can make my phone function without compromising my data.
Yeah. You know, there aren't a lot of options, as you might imagine, because you have Google. And then if you don't want Google, you get Siri. If you don't want Siri, you have Amazon Alexa. And if you don't want that, well, Microsoft's bringing Cortana back. You know, it's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know, and it's all the tracking that just keeps going on and on. There used to be actually 2 options, but now there's only one. It's called Hound by SoundHound. And it's an app. You can use it to send messages, make calls. Like you said, if you've got chicken on your hands and somebody calls, you don't want to touch the phone with all that stuff on there. You can set reminders. It is free. It has in-app purchases. So it's probably going to run you about anywhere between 10 and maybe $12 a month by the time you look at which features that you want. But the only data that's actually linked to you is your contact information and any identifiers that you give them when you set up the account. So what's not linked to you is your location and your history, your archives, your search history, any content that you generate, any usage content. Again, it's called Hound by SoundHound. There used to be another one called Mycroft AI. And it seems like this company has kind of shifted gears, though. Because last time I looked at their website, the only thing that they're selling is a smart speaker that is not tied to big tech. So it used to be an open source virtual assistant that they were trying to make privacy focused. And open source, of course, means that, it can be expected by anybody for any type of hidden data collection, but that's not the case anymore. So really, you just have one option, which means that if you're listening and you want to create a competitor, maybe there's a market for it. But again, it's called Hound by SoundHound. And thank you for your call today, John. And if you do me a favor, after you take a look at it and you use it, let me know what you think. And again, it's called Hound by SoundHound. You can find it in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. All right, so for our money tip, let's talk about your car. It's just sitting there in the driveway, in the garage, costing you money. Okay, we might as well take those four wheels and turn that into cash. So here are some ways. Okay, number one is the obvious choice, rideshare. Uber and Lyft are definitely at the top of the rideshare game. And it's worth considering if you enjoy driving and if you're truly a people person. Now, many drivers do it outside a 9-to-5 drive. Just think of all the folks who need a ride home, say on a Friday night or on a Saturday night. How much can you make? Well, they say anywhere between $15 and $22 an hour. Okay, next up, wrap the cars. You've seen them on the street. Car wrapped in giant advertisements. It actually pays pretty well to wrap your car. You can make anywhere between $100 and $450 per month. Maybe that's enough to just wipe out the car payment. Now, of course, the car advertisements are dependent upon how often you drive, how many miles, and where you're located. So just keep that in mind that your so-called mileage may vary. Next on our list is try your hand at delivery. People are ordering packages, meals, you name it, all day long. Names like DoorDash, GoPuff, Amazon Flex. There's also Instacart. Now, I do want you to be careful. Amazon and other delivery companies, they have aggressive delivery timelines. So you need to be on your A game. Amazon says flex drivers can make between $18 and $25 an hour. Now, they recently just added a new side note to this, is that if you are a local bakery, florist, you have a local something that you deliver around town, is that you can sign up for an Amazon Flex delivery account, and Amazon's going to pay you. What they're going to do is they're going to drop all the packages off at your front door that need to go out in your route, and then you just deliver them as you're going about delivering flowers or balloons or whatever it is, and then you get to make more money. Now, you can also do the grocery shopping. I use this almost every single day. There's also Instacart, DoorDash, and Ship. They're pretty popular. You can expect to make anywhere between $10 and $25 an hour. Now, you can also move things, right? You put your truck or your SUV to use. TaskRabbit and GoShare are pretty good options. Now, GoShare says that delivery drivers can make, listen to this, up to $168 an hour. Now, what if you are an entrepreneur? You can maybe start a mobile business. You can have, say, a van as a mobile spa or dog grooming or dog running service or a bookstore, whatever it is. Now, over at Komando.com, we have links to more tips on how you can use your house, your bike, or your brain to make some cash. You just want to search for Make Money. And then we have links to all of these that I just mentioned as well. So put that car to use, yes, and have it make some money for you. Think of it. It'd be like maybe just starting a holiday Christmas fund or something like that.
This episode is brought to you by Kia's first 3-row, all-electric SUV, the Kia EV9, with available all-wheel drive and seating for up to 7 adults, with 0 to 60 speed that thrills you 1 minute and available lounge seats that unwind you the next. Visit kia.com/EV9 to learn more. Ask your Kia dealer for availability. No system, no matter how advanced, can compensate for all driver error and or driving conditions. Always drive safely.
I had so much fun. I have to tell you this the other day, is that I got a chance to work on our Etsy shop. So if you're looking for Kim Komando Show merchandise, we have backpacks, earbud covers, and of course, T-shirts and hats. There's really a cool black denim type of hat that I put together. I think you're really going to love. We even have like a grilling apron. So if you're a Kim Komando fan, or if you know one, if you're looking for merch, head over to kimkomando.etsy.com. Once again, that's kimkomando.etsy.com. We also have some funny T-shirts with some slogans like, I put myself into airplane mode. And if there's something that you'd like to see in our Etsy shop, go ahead and drop me a note right there. That's kimkomando.etsy.com. All right, back to the phones we go with Joan in Michigan.
I'm concerned about the Temu app.
Okay, it's called.
When I read on your website, it said it gets your name, address, phone number, birthday photos, IP address, GPS location, browsing. It goes on and on.
Yeah, it does. It's pronounced Temu, by the way.
Okay.
That's all right. It's called Temu, and it collects a lot of information. They say that the company's based in Boston by PTT Holdings, which is really headquartered in China. So everything's going back to China. And it's also part of a whole e-commerce platform called Pinduoduo. And they gain access to everything that's on your phone. So if you put Temu on your phone because you want to save some bucks and buy some cheap junk from China, that you can do that. But just know that you're giving up your voice print, your face print, text messages, your photos, your IP address.
Yeah, I read
contacts.
all that in your letter. I read all of it. So what do I do now?
Did you delete the app?
Yes.
Okay. So once you delete the app, you may think like, okay, I'm done. That, China has everything that they have and I don't have to worry about it again. But if there's one thing that we know about dealing with the Chinese government is that they can't be trusted, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So even though you deleted the Temu app from your phone and you think that you totally removed it, and I know it's a big royal pain in the butt to do this, but you really need to do a whole factory reset because you don't really know. I don't really know. I don't even know if Apple really knows if, in fact, everything is truly removed off of that phone when you remove the app. Because, again, we're dealing with communist China. We're dealing with enemies of the United States of America. So once you put this Temu app on your phone, everything's all gone and you remove it. But who's to say that the Chinese didn't leave a little something behind so that this way they could keep that little track and going, which I believe that they probably would. Okay, so that's why I know it's a pain to back up your phone, make a full backup, so this way you can restore it, and you want to do a full factory reset. So this way we're just going to wipe everything out, but you can still get back your photos and your videos and good stuff like that when you sync up to the cloud. And if you need help on doing a factory reset, we have the steps over at commando.com. With a K, of course, that's KOMANDO.com. Hey, speaking of Chinese apps, if you have file recovery and data recovery or file manager on your Android device, I just want you to know, been exposed this past week that all the data that you have there is being sent right back to China, and combined they have like 1.5 million downloads. Once again, it's file recovery and data recovery and file manager. Let's see who's up next. Cheryl in Maine.
Hi, this is very nice to speak with you.
Well, thank you.
I've listened to you for years, so. My question is, I signed up for Starlink, which I love. It works so much better than anything else I've had here, but I'm getting advertisements when I'm streaming something from New York. And I live in Maine. I'm used to my advertisements for Maine and not New York, so I just wondering if there's some way to get rid of these.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens because Starlink has something called a POP. It's called a point of presence. And that's actually where Starlink, your internet connection provided via satellite, is going to be talking to a ground station and then get that signal over to you there in Maine. So obviously that ground station is in New York, so that's why it says, oh, Cheryl is a native New Yorker, and she wants to know about Chompy's Bagels and Katz's Deli and all that other good stuff. Yeah, I didn't have lunch today, Cheryl, so that's why I'm a little hungry here, but that's okay. So a way to stop this would be to use a VPN. And of course, ExpressVPN is the VPN of choice here at the Kim Commando Show. It's one that I use. I recommend. Use my name, Kim. You get 3 months free. And it's really easy to use. And I know a lot of people, Cheryl, whenever I say VPN, they're like, oh, no, gosh, it's going to be hard to set up. No, it's not. Just hit one button and you connect. Really super easy. Then the other thing they say to me, Cheryl, is like, oh, it's going to slow me down. I'm like, nope. That used to be the way it is. And it will slow you down if you use these free VPNs, by the way. So that's why you need to pay for some things in life, and this is something very much worthwhile. So again, you're going to go to expressvpn.com/Kim. Once again, that's expressvpn.com/Kim. And you're going to use promo code Kim because you get that 3 extra months free. Yes, Starlink pops. Sometimes they can be really, really annoying, especially when you want to see those local ads. I want to see what's happening in my hometown. And once again, Cheryl, thanks for your call. Hey, speaking of Starlink, for the best Starlink experience, you always want to make sure that that dish is placed in a location with a clear view of the sky. It needs to see as much of the sky as possible. So you don't want to have any obstructions like trees and buildings and other structures. So remember, the better the view, the better that Starlink is going to operate. All right, why take one great photo of a meal when you can take 10 or 20, right? We're all overwhelmed with duplicate photos, so how do we get rid of them? All right, let's start with Windows, and then I'm going to cover Android, and then finally for our Mac listeners. Now, if you're working on a Windows PC, there's a free program called CCleaner. It will help you locate and delete similar photos, and it also works for other file types too. Now, if you're on Android, you want to check out something called Gallery Doctor. It automatically finds and deletes duplicate photos, freeing up storage space on your device. Now, for Mac owners, this is really great. The latest iOS update to Photos automatically finds duplicate photos and videos right in your photo library. And you're going to find it under Albums. There's a folder that says Duplicates. Voila! Oh my gosh. I had over 3,200 duplicate photos. So embarrassed to say that. Anyway, if you need those names again, just hit the website and be sure to tell 3 friends about the Kim Komando Show and our podcast because knowledge is power. You can find me always at komando.com.
This program is a copyrighted production of Westar Multimedia Entertainment and protected by the copyright laws. Any rebroadcast or use of this program for commercial, business, economic, or financial purposes without the written permission of Westar Multimedia Entertainment is strictly prohibited.
Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Terms and conditions apply. Your mobile carrier's availability and message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Get cash for clothes at Plato's Closet in North Charleston and West Ashley. It's so easy. Recycle, earn cash, repeat. We pay cash on the spot for your trendy, gently used clothing, shoes, and accessories. At Plato's Closet, we buy all seasons, all day, every day. It's time to clean out your closet and cash in. Bring in your denim, graphic tees, athletic wear, shoes, handbags, and more. Sell your styles to Plato's Closet for cash. Then, do it again. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.